Have you ever felt that life is a journey of constant change? Everything around us, from love, career, to health, never stands still. So, is the suffering we experience due to the endless demand for something that will never last forever? Imagine you have just achieved great success in your career, thinking that it will be endless joy. But then suddenly, an incident happens, turning everything upside down. What you thought was stable disappears in an instant. That is impermanence, the natural law that we have to face. In this video, we will explore the profound philosophy of Buddhism about impermanence, to find a way to face life that is constantly changing. You will see that when we understand this nature, we will find it easier to find peace and happiness in the midst of turmoil. Impermanence is not simply change. It is the absolute truth of all things and phenomena, from the smallest things to the life of a human being. From the cells in our body, every minute, every second, they change and age, and then all relationships, careers, and fame are in the flow of change. Buddhist philosophy on impermanence. The Buddha once said that humans are born in the cycle of birth, existence, change, death, that is, birth, existence, change, and then end. Everything is temporary, but we often cling to it and believe that everything will last forever. This makes us suffer when things are no longer as expected. A deep love relationship can bring a feeling of happiness, but over time, the attachment can fade due to external factors or changes in each person's mind. When someone leaves, we feel like we have lost everything. But in fact, it is just the life cycle of a relationship. Understanding that everything is impermanent helps us to cherish every moment without being sad about what has passed. Impermanence is a natural thing, and when we truly understand this, the fear of loss or the suffering of change no longer has any influence. We will see that every moment is an opportunity to experience and feel more deeply the beauty of life. The Buddha taught that the most important thing is to accept reality. When we accept that everything in life has its reasons and laws, we reduce a lot of unnecessary suffering. Instead of avoiding or resisting reality, learn to accept and understand its nature. Buddhism emphasizes the middle way, not leaning too far to any extreme. Instead of chasing after endless desires or fearing things that cannot be changed, the middle way helps us maintain a stable state of mind, not getting caught up in negativity or excessive excitement. A person with a high position in society, even though he can achieve more success, chooses to spend time with family and friends. He understands that fame and money can disappear at any time, but peace of mind is forever. Thanks to the middle way, he maintains a balanced and peaceful life, not getting caught up in unnecessary desires. Accepting reality is not surrendering, but understanding that everything comes and goes according to its own rules. When we know that everything has its own time, we will appreciate more what we have and be less attached to things that have passed. Letting go does not mean giving up everything, but freeing ourselves from psychological burdens. Buddhism teaches that we should let go of resentments, fears, and unnecessary desires so that the mind becomes light and clear. The Buddha said, "If something does not bring you peace, let it go." It could be a negative emotion, a relationship that has run out of luck, or an unfulfilled desire. Only by letting go can we achieve freedom of mind. A man who was deeply hurt by a broken relationship, but couldn't stop thinking about it. Resentment and longing kept him from moving on. But when he learned to let go of the past, he found peace again, ready to welcome new happiness. That is the power of letting go, not only to free others, but to free yourself. Message on letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up completely, but learning to let your mind not be bound by the past. When we know how to let go, we open the door to peace, freedom, and joy. Buddhism teaches that tolerance is the root of true love and compassion. When we are tolerant, we not only forgive others, but also bring peace to ourselves. Tolerance helps us overcome the limitations of the ego to see people and things more generously. A father, despite being misunderstood and argued with by his children many times, still loves them and does not resent them. When they are in trouble, he is willing to help them without hesitation. That is the unconditional love that only tolerance can bring. And looking back, those children learned from him a valuable lesson about forgiveness. Message on tolerance. Tolerance is not a weakness, but a strength to keep the soul at peace. When we know how to forgive, we no longer carry the burden of hatred or resentment, but instead find happiness in forgiveness itself. Buddhism advises people to cherish health because it is a tool to help us practice the Dharma. When we are healthy, we can live fully, experience joy, and share love with everyone around us. A strong mind can only exist in a young friend worked hard to get promoted, forgetting about her health. When she got sick, she realized that having health is having everything. Without health, all success and fame are meaningless. This lesson helped her understand that life is only truly valuable when we are healthy enough to enjoy it. Health is the most precious asset we have. Take time to nourish your body and mind. Don't wait until you lose it to realize that having health is the only way to have a full life. Life is short, and the only constant is change. When we accept this, we will find peace in the transformation. Every day is a gift for us to live and love. Buddhism teaches that a peaceful mind is the most secure shelter. When we know how to love and be tolerant, all the changes and ups and downs in life no longer scare us, but become part of a meaningful journey. Try to live a day without expectations, without clinging to anything. Just do your best, love sincerely, and accept reality. You will feel the freedom and peace that you have been searching for all this time. The Buddha taught that understanding others is wisdom, but understanding oneself is true wisdom. The journey of self-awareness is a long and arduous journey, requiring perseverance and courage. When we know ourselves clearly, we can accept our weaknesses and shortcomings, and from there, open our hearts to be more tolerant of others. A person who has experienced many failures at work always blames himself and compares himself with others. But when looking back, he realizes that each failure is a lesson, helping him become stronger and wiser. He understood that freedom does not lie in achieving everything, but in accepting and loving yourself. A busy mother always tried to meet all the expectations of her family, but felt lost because she forgot her own joy. When she realized this and began to love herself, she no longer felt tired or resentful. Understanding and loving herself helped her bring joy and peace to her family. We often look outside to find happiness, but Buddhism shows that all joy and sadness originate from the mind. When we clearly understand what we want, what we need, and are willing to live true to ourselves, we will no longer be controlled by the expectations of others. That is freedom, a state that nothing outside can shake. Peace is not the absence of difficulties, but the way we face those difficulties with a calm mind. Buddha taught that when the mind is at peace, everything will be at peace. And from there, we will see that happiness is not a destination, but each step on our path. A person who has suffered many injuries in life, but instead of blaming or trying to forget, he chose to learn from those injuries. He sat down with himself, contemplated what had happened, and accepted the pain as a part of himself. Thanks to that, he was no longer haunted by the past, but found peace in every present moment. Meditation is a way to return to yourself. Listen to each breath to touch the peace in your heart. Let go of desires. When we let go of desires and expectations, we will realize that everything comes and goes for a reason. Peace does not lie in how much we achieve, but in accepting what we have. Be grateful for the present. Feel the preciousness of each moment. Be grateful for the little things around us. From there, we can find true peace. Every day, ask yourself if your heart is truly at peace. Happiness only comes when we have a peaceful soul, no longer shaken by external things. That is the way for us to live fully and meaningfully. Loss is an inevitable part of life. Buddhism teaches that everything is a matter of fate. When the fate is enough, it comes. When the fate is gone, it goes. Accepting the departure, whether of a loved one or of yourself, is the way for us to free ourselves from suffering. A father lost his beloved child, day and night immersed in pain. He could not forget the feeling of emptiness, loss, and resentment towards fate. But as he gradually learned to accept that each person's life has its own journey, he began to find comfort and feel lighter. Instead of resentment, he remembered the beautiful moments and believed that his love would last forever. When loss occurs, it is a reminder of impermanence. Although painful, when we accept that everything is a part of life, our souls will be less bound. At that time, our love for the deceased will not disappear, but will become the driving force to help us move forward. Buddha taught that only when we live in the present moment, we truly live. What has passed is no longer. What is to come has not yet appeared. Therefore, the most precious life is right now, every second and minute. A person working in the medical field, facing life and death every day, once shared that when she saw the fragile lives of patients, she realized the value of each present moment. Instead of worrying too much about the future, she began to appreciate each meal and each conversation with her loved ones more. She felt that life became more meaningful and profound when she focused on the present. Every moment in life is a precious gift. Don't let thoughts about the past or worries about the future take away the value of the present. When we live each moment fully, we will feel the joy and peace that life brings. Buddha teaches that we should always be grateful for life, grateful for everyone who has come and gone in this life, because they all bring us valuable lessons. Every person we meet, every event we experience is a part that helps us grow and understand ourselves better. Be grateful for every breath, every smile, and what we have. When we know how to appreciate the most ordinary things, we will see that this life has many lovely and precious things. Live a life without regrets, without resentment. Always be grateful and cherish what you have. This life is a short journey. Let's turn it into a meaningful journey by loving, forgiving, and living fully. Hopefully, through what we have shared today, you can find peace in your soul. This life has countless good things, and all you need to do is open your heart to receive and cherish every moment. Gratitude is the source of true happiness. The Buddha taught that when we are grateful for life, we will feel that we are living a full life. Gratitude is not only limited to big things, but also to small things, like a meal, a roof over our heads, or breathing every day. Before going to bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for during the day. It can be the smallest things, like a greeting, a hug from a loved one, or a moment you spend with yourself. Be grateful for challenges and difficulties. Don't just be grateful when things go well. Learn to be grateful for difficulties. Challenges help us grow and become stronger, so they are also an indispensable part of life. There are people who, despite facing great loss, still find peace by being grateful for the moments they had with their loved ones. A mother who lost her child shared that, instead of blaming fate, She chose to cherish every beautiful memory with her child. It was this gratitude that helped her overcome the pain and move on with peace of mind. When we are grateful, our hearts become open and filled with love. Be grateful even when life is not as we wish, because everything that happens has a reason and brings us valuable lessons. Tolerance is the foundation of compassion and is the way to help us overcome suffering, not only our own, but also that of others. When we are tolerant, we free ourselves from resentment and hatred. That is the way to have a peaceful mind and achieve peace. Seeing from the perspective of others. Try to put yourself in the shoes of others to understand why they behave the way they do. When we understand the root of our actions, we will find it easier to forgive and be tolerant. Let go of the desire for perfection. No one is perfect, and tolerance begins with accepting the shortcomings of both yourself and others. Learn to be content with the imperfections of everyone around you. Remind yourself that forgiveness is for yourself. When you forgive, the biggest beneficiary is yourself, because you no longer have to carry the burden of unnecessary resentment. A man was cheated out of money. Instead of holding on to resentment and demanding revenge, he chose to forgive and let go. He realized that resentment only made him suffer. Through tolerance, he felt light, finding happiness in freedom from negative thoughts. Message on tolerance. Tolerance is not accepting all wrongs, but freeing yourself from resentment. When your heart is free of hatred, happiness will come naturally. Love in Buddhism is unconditional love and compassion for everyone. When we spread love, we not only help others, but also nourish our own souls. The Buddha taught that loving and treating everyone kindly is the way to build a happier world. Listening is the greatest gift you can give. When someone needs to share, listen without judgment. Just your sincere presence is a way to show love. Help others without expecting anything in return. Instead of waiting for others to need help before taking action, take the initiative to give love. Sometimes a small action is enough to warm someone's heart. Caring and loving yourself. You can only love others when you know how to appreciate and care for yourself. Love starts from yourself and spreads to the surrounding area. A volunteer often visits orphanages, bringing joy and helping children. She said that love is not only what she brings to others, but also the great happiness she receives in her heart. Thanks to love, she feels that life is more meaningful and beautiful. Love is the most precious gift we can give to each other. When you live with a heart full of love, all the difficulties in life become lighter. Spread love, because that is the way to create a peaceful and happy world. Through this journey, we have learned profound philosophies about impermanence, tolerance, gratitude, and love. Each philosophy is a step on the path to inner peace. When we understand the nature of life and know how to love and cherish every moment, we will find life complete and meaningful. The journey to find inner peace is not a destination, but a daily practice. Let's start with small actions, such as being grateful for the things around us, practicing tolerance with everyone, and living each moment to the fullest. That is the way for us to walk on the path of peace. Life is not always easy, but when we live with a peaceful mind and a loving heart, we will find ourselves stronger in the face of all challenges. Let's love, cherish, and live to the fullest. Because life, whether short or long, is worth living to the fullest. Thank you for joining us in this video. We hope you find peace and joy in the lessons we have shared. Wishing you a peaceful life filled with love and happiness. See you in the next videos.